everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today I'm going to take a look at the Flandre, and I'm terribly sorry, but I'm probably mispronouncing it. Well, it's a tier 8 premium French battleship. I'm on the map Sea of Fortune, and you know, it's a 3-point domination game. It's a tier 9 battle, there is a carrier. There's only one destroyer, so I'm probably not going to eat that much fish. Now, this is not a review. I want to make this pretty clear. I think a review needs to be a lot more detailed than what I'm going to show you today. Those are just impressions. I've played this ship for 9 battles so far. And those are my impressions during those times. So, what can I tell you about this battleship? You have 380mm guns. And you got 9 of those. You are very inaccurate as expected of a French. Also, I should mention, I'm running a full secondary build on in this replay. Not necessarily something I recommend, but more about that later. So you have rather inaccurate guns. You have 20 kilometers range, which is more than enough because you aren't going to hit anything at this range anyway. And you've got a lot of hit points. You only got 4 heals, so you're paying for the amount of hit points you got by 1 heal. Your armor is, I guess, alright. I mean, you only have like 32mm stack armor, which can be a bit of an issue with a lot of high explosive spam. But you do have a pretty nice turtle back. So you are pretty decent in a brawl. It will take some time until enemies realize that they should go for your upper belt, in which case you are just like the other Germans, I guess. I mean, you're just like the Germans. Obviously, the Flandre isn't a German. Speaking of Germans, you do have the same secondary range as Germans do. The problem is your secondaries are utter shit. Now, the Flanders secondaries have an impressive range, but that's all that's impressive about them. Basically, if somebody looks at you, they explode. If a Thunderer even just stares at you, the secondaries self-destruct because they're so afraid of getting shot. But that's not that big of a deal, because even if they shoot, they don't do anything. Your secondaries are mostly 100mm with 17mm of pen. And, you know, 17mm of pen isn't going to pen anything. So you're just hoping for fires, and if the RNG gods aren't smiling upon you, yeah. Then there's the accuracy. Oh my god, the accuracy is bad. I mean, seriously, like if you look at when the secondaries shoot at something, they are... So those secondaries are shit. But the range is good. Now there is one redeeming factor here, right? There is the skill in the commander tree where you get better primary gun reload if your secondaries are firing. And that's a pretty amazing skill on the Flandre. So you can try to go for a hybrid build, like get some... Oh, hello, Missouri. You're not sure what that Missouri thought he was doing. So what you can do is you can go for a hybrid build, right? You want to just go for secondary range, and otherwise I'd suggest tanking skills. I haven't entirely figured out the build for this ship yet, so I'm still trying. Keep in mind the replay you're seeing is a full secondary build with secondary module, with secondary accuracy, with everything. And you'll be rather disappointed in what the secondaries do. But I definitely recommend with this ship to get close and to brawl. Make use of the armor, make use of the hit points is definitely a way to go. Now, as far as this battle goes, there are quite a few cruisers in. And oh, hello Atlanta. Well, this dispersion looks adequate. You see, like, I mean, you'll see plenty of bad accuracy also in this game, but... You really, like, those guns at long range, it's just not gonna work. Like, you could build as a sniper, you can build anything as a sniper with Deadeye, but the thing is, why? Right? Your advantage are a large hit point for you, a good turtle back, and you have abysmal accuracy at range, right? If you wanna snipe, play a different ship, that's my opinion. So let's go for some random shots in there. I get one overpen. And the Öland is just gonna disappear here. Probably. I could have tried shooting the destroyer, but I didn't think that by the time I turned the guns he would still be visible. So I'm making my way over to the sea cap and to engage that lion. The idea is to clear out that lion and then maybe take C. Right now it's a pretty even game. And I really don't want to give them the sea cap, especially if it's just a lion camping. I'm raided here, who cares? In comes the carrier. Okay, carrier. The Flandre has pretty good well, decent anti-air. The thing about anti-air is, of course, decent anti-air does not mean you're going to be able to defend yourself against the carrier. Decent anti-air means you get a little bit of experience while the carrier attacks you because you shoot down a plane. But the carrier still attacks you and it still does damage to you. But I've also, I mean, different game I got an anti-air medal in the Flandre, so the anti-air is alright. But as I said, right, it's not gonna protect you from a carrier, but it means you get a few experience points for shooting down planes while a carrier still farms you. Now, I'm gonna be careful here because I can't show broadside to the lion, so I gotta try to approach it in a way that I can ambush it. I'm also hoping that the Indianapolis makes a mistake and I can farm it, so I'm a bit... Oh, damn it. I'm showing broadside to something over there. Carrier comes in. I should really reinforce my anti-air, but I'm not paying that much attention, unfortunately. I'm still too focused on the lion, so the lion got a bit of a hit in, but, you know, I'll gonna get a return. There you go. Well, you know, if enemy show broadside to you at close range, it's definitely gonna work, but, you know. Probably not something that will happen in most games. So, as I've said earlier, I've played 9 battles in this, and so far, in most of them I've done pretty well, and I tried brawling in all of them. Like, an aggressive move going in and brawl is definitely something I tried. Now you just saw, like, my dispersion against the Buffalo was not very good. Also, since I just got hit here by this torpedo strike, torpedo protection is very good. So once again, something that tells me you wanna get. So you have decent armor, you have lots of hit points, you have good torpedo protection. This ship is designed to get close, right? Because just your accuracy is so bad at long range anyway. You just need to figure out the best hybrid build, and you just saw as the shells left with this dispersion, probably not even hitting that Buffalo, which is a shame. Yeah. See how far I've spread. So this is currently a full secondary build. And I'm leaving the cap now. I'm almost capping, but I expected the carrier to interrupt me anyway. I have ships behind me that will take the cap, and I just want to get around here and farm the carrier because he's gonna keep launching airstrikes at me, right? So, and he's close enough that we can hopefully deal with this problem. And that might give us a nice lead. We're currently 1 ship ahead. We aren't doing too bad on points, although we are losing A currently. Our ships there are a bit zone-wally, unfortunately. But more importantly, there's a carrier to farm, hopefully. Good. So, as I said, this is full secondary build. So if you switch out the secondary module for the accuracy one, that would probably be rather helpful. And then further, you keep the secondary range in the captain tree, and you probably keep the skill that when a secondary shoot, you get better main gun reload. Now, if you're not running the secondary module, secondary range, I assume it should be around like 10 kilometers, so still a distance where you can get the primary buff. And then I'd take like probably fire prevention and the additional heal. But I still gotta experiment with the build, I gotta say. So the carrier has been dealt with. Now about this destroyer. Now the good news is the Öland doesn't have that many torpedoes, and the torpedoes are not hurting that bad. So with my good torpedo protection, I might be getting away with this. But obviously my main goal would be to dodge them, if possible. So I'm trying to point my nose there at them. Also, like, I was talking about how the secondaries in this thing don't survive. So it looks like I successfully juked those torps. My secondaries aren't really shooting here because they are no longer existent, right? It's a shame. Now I've got high explosive loaded here for the destroyer, and while getting some hits in there. So look at this. My secondaries are down to 59%, and it's mostly on the one side that all of them are almost all of them are destroyed. You can see the spares firing still. Now, you can obviously mount a module that makes secondary survive more, but as I've said, I've played with a secondary build, a full secondary build, in quite a few battles. And even if you get if you get 200, 250 secondary hits, you're probably not breaking the 10k damage mark on secondary damage, simply because they just can't pen anything. The only hope are the fires, and I just... my fire RNG hasn't smiling on me that much. Now overall this battle currently looks good. We have 2 more ships. We have less caps, but... you know. There is still 6 minutes 40 to go. Now Viper here is probably hunting some battleships. The only thing that could really be dangerous for him is if he runs into the Belfast. We currently don't know where the Belfast is, but the enemy also doesn't have a carrier anymore. I'm not sure where the Brindisi and the Buffalo are going currently. And there is a battle. Now, let me unlock the... let me speed this up a little bit, because apparently... well, I mean, you didn't see that salvo, but I did. I missed anyway. So, okay, let's slow it down a bit, I guess. So I've got high explosive loaded right now. High explosive isn't that bad. I think you have a decent fire chance. So for an angled enemy, it's a reasonable choice, but obviously you'd have to hit something for that. And as at range, it's just... well, I mean, obviously if you build for more accuracy. With Deadeye and the accuracy module, you get anything somewhat working at range. But I think it's just gonna be a huge waste. Need to speed this slightly up again. So, obviously, my plan here is to take care of this Italian. Hopefully it's going to come around full broadside. It's a 3 versus 3 now. And, well, the Buffalo is very low, I'm very low, but we still have a carrier. The Belfast, I think, is pretty low. The Leo isn't that healthy. So, the biggest threat currently is that Italian. Now, if I could take him out... that would be nice. Of course, I mean, that dispersion. Although, you see, I still got 5 pens in there, so that's nice. Now, as I said, the secondaries on this side are so demolished that they aren't really gonna do anything. So I'm gonna turn my ship around. Now, yes, the rear turret is currently pointed in the wrong direction, but I don't think I'm going to use the rear turret anytime soon anyway. I'm mostly turning... so that I can get the secondaries going like this. Also, I can now turn back in, right, and go more nose in. I gotta be very careful with my remaining health. And, oh, he's beaching full broadside. There goes a citadel. I get myself the high caliber. Now there are 2 fires burning. My last heal is gone. I'm going to damage con those 2 fires. I hope I can sink him before this damage con runs its course, because if he sets a fire again afterwards, I'm dead. Now I'm going a little bit here on the upper belt. I don't... he's on very low health. I didn't want to risk anything with weird angles, bounces, and the torpedo belt. I wanted to go for the safe option. Also, I guess with accuracy, with spread, I felt more chance of actually getting a hit in. Now we saw the Belfast is on the... oh, the Belfast is hydring. Now here is the issue, right? There's about 3 minutes of this game left, not even 3 minutes. And the enemy has a huge points lead. So what can I do? I can sail into B, then the Belfast just goes and caps C, right? I need to farm this Belfast. Now the Belfast might just be running around. You know, if I had a carrier that would spot the Belfast, then I could actually determine best course of action. Doesn't look like the carrier was to spot the Belfast. No, the Belfast is on very low health too. Like, if the carrier was going after the Belfast, he could possibly destroy it, and most certainly he could give him information. That's why the carrier is going for the Leo. Probably. And yeah, I'm spotted. That means the Leo can shoot me. Now you could argue, why don't you sail away out of the Hydro? I guess I could try, but you see, as I said, I need to sink this Belfast, you know? I could try to disengage, maybe turn around, go the other way around. It's 2 minutes left. I'm not a very maneuverable ship. I'm sure I could play this out, but now I know he's in sea, actually. Also, I should have turned my guns now towards the Leo and tried to shoot at the Leo, especially since I know now that he's in sea. But I've lost my spotting here anyway, and if the Leo gets another salvo, I'm probably dead. And indeed, I'm dead. I think there would have been a way to play this better there in the end. Well, most likely. And yeah, I mean, I can't, like, the camera is like completely screwed. I don't know why, but if you load into battle, the camera by the Flandre is bugged, and if you try to unlock the camera, it is bugged. In the actual battle, you know, it works as it should, but not entirely sure what's wrong there. So anyway, the enemy is now going to reach 1,000 points, and there's barely any time left. I feel like there could have been a way to play this better there in the end, but I didn't have the time, and I didn't have many options, so I was hoping that the Belfast would make a mistake and I could catch it, but unfortunately, the Belfast didn't oblige. Brings us to the results, and while the Kraken eluded me, I managed to get almost 2,000 base experience in a defeat. Well, I can live with that, although I would have preferred a win, I guess. I did like 190k damage and got the Confederate, a high kill, a devastating stride out of his. Obviously, I mean, a lot of my success was due to the excessive amount of broadsides that the enemy presented myself, and that's always nice. And you know, when we look at the exact damage, you can see I got 142 secondary hits that did 9k damage, 142 out of 732 shots fired, and I got 2 fires, and the fires did 2.5k damage because the fires were damaged so quickly. So, you know, having secondaries that rely on fire RNG is, I mean, secondaries in itself are hard enough to make work. And if you then rely on fire RNG, your secondaries are probably pretty garbage. So that's just the thing, right? This is a ship that I feel like does well in close quarters. It's just that the secondaries, their only purpose is to make the one skill work that makes your main battery reload better. So there is that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you next time.